Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Dr. Amel from City Skin Clinic, and today I thought we'd have a chat about eyelash serums for growth, just because I get quite a few questions about it, and it's something that we do provide in our clinic, and I thought I would just give an overview of what's available, what ingredients actually work and help growing your lashes, and how to choose the best eyelash serum for you. Before we get started, if you're new to our channel, welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. If you're a returning visitor, welcome back and thank you so much for your support. So eyelash serums are available pretty much everywhere at the moment. There's a huge variety, prescription and non-prescription products, and it can be a little bit daunting and a little bit hard because there's a lot of advertising and powerful claims being made about them, but of course, as you know, in the world of beauty and skincare, not everything is always as it seems. We're going to dive into this area so that you can be armed with the facts before making a decision. So before we discuss eyelash serums, it's really important to get a very quick idea of how eyelash growth, what affects eyelash growth itself. So your eyelashes are no different to the rest of the hair on your body. And the way the lashes grow is there's a cycle of growth and then resting and shedding. So the growth cycle, which is really important in the context of eyelash serums, this cycle is when the lashes in the hair follicles are growing. And usually hair follicles spend about 4 to 6 weeks in this active growth phase. So things that affect this phase are things like nutrition, your overall health, your genetics, and also certain stimulants that can promote this phase even further. And this is the key phase for eyelash growth. This phase is then followed by, so once the lash has the eyelash has cycled through this phase, it then moves on to the catagen phase. This is a transition phase, if you like. So this is when the lashes get ready to be shed, but they're not quite ready to be shed. So at this phase, the follicles start to shrink. This phase lasts about 2 to 3 weeks. If you pull out your lashes during this phase, or if they fall out for some reason, they don't regrow back. They still have to cycle through the whole lash growth cycle before they get to growth again. So after 2 to 3 weeks in general, the lashes then move to the final phase of their life cycle. This is the telogen phase. That's when the lash is basically sitting in its follicle before it's naturally shed, and that can take 3 to 4 months. During the shedding phase and that initial phase between it, the transition phase, there's really nothing that you can do to stimulate growth in that period. There's nothing you can do for the lashes, but what you can do is keep them healthy, nourished and moisturized. And that will improve the skin and the follicles and prepare you for the next phase. And so at the end of that phase, the cycle begins again, and then you go back to the anagen growth phase. One thing that's really important, but also really cool, is obviously not all of your lashes are in the same phase as each other. Otherwise, you'd spend 3 to 4 months without eyelashes. So lashes some will be in the anagen phase, some will be in the resting phase, some will be in the dropping or shedding phase. And this is really important to know because, if you are using lash growth serums, and we'll get to that in a second, or you're using things to support your lashes, you really need to be doing that all the time rather than wait for certain phases. But in a way, it makes life a little bit easier, I think. So what is it that is available? What ingredients can help with eyelash growth and eyelash health? So I'm going to split them into a couple of things. One are ingredients that actually promote eyelash growth, which means for that to happen, they have to actually impact that anagen phase. So really the one big thing that we know is prostaglandin analogs. These are chemicals or derivatives of prostaglandins, which naturally are found in the body, but they can be synthesized in the lab, and they affect hair growth. and particularly lash growth. So prostaglandin analogues will act on the hair follicle during the anagen phase, and what they do is they keep the hair follicle. Remember at the beginning we said that the anagen phase normally lasts about 4 to 6 weeks. Well, these prostaglandin analogues prolong that phase, and so if the lash stays longer in that growth phase, then you are more likely to have longer lashes, right? Because it continues to grow before it moves to that kind of resting phase and then the shedding phase. So that's why they promote longer lashes, and they're the only kind of ingredients that really truly do that in a significant way. Then there are supporting ingredients. So remember I said throughout the entire lash growth cycle, there are things that boost, like the prostaglandin analogues. They directly affect hair growth, but there are also things that support and condition the lashes and improve their health and appearance, and that can make the lashes look fuller, look thicker, look more conditioned, even though they don't necessarily make the lashes longer. These are kind of support ingredients, in my opinion, and they condition the lashes. So in this, you've got things like biotin, which strengthens the lashes and reduces breakage, so the lashes stay looking their best. You've got things like peptides, which actually help promote keratin production. Peptides will make the lashes look stronger, and as a result, both two can make the lashes look thicker and fuller. Beyond that, you've got things like hyaluronic acid, which makes the lashes just appear a bit more hydrated, a bit plumper. You've got things like oils, in particular castor oil, vitamin E oil. You've got things like vitamin B5, and these again condition the lashes and just make them, imagine, when you put a conditioner on your hair, a mask, something like that, it makes the hair look glossier and a little bit healthier and fuller. These ingredients do the same thing for the hair, so they are not actually changing the hair, the length or the thickness of the follicles, but they're just making the eyelashes look better. And then finally, we've got things like antioxidants that are sometimes added, and these just protect the lashes from, like they do with your skin, from overall kind of UV damage and other external irritants and pollutants. And so it's really useful to know these ingredients, because actually that's how I'm going to categorize the types of eyelash serums, and to help you figure out which one is best for you. So with that being said, bearing in mind those ingredients, that I generally classify group eyelash serums into 3 different categories. So the first one is eyelash growth stimulating serums that only do that. So here we're talking about serums that just contain prostaglandin analogues, and so they are just there to promote length. They don't do anything else like conditioning or supporting the health of the lashes. So in this group, it's mainly prescription products. So we've got things like Latisse, and it contains a drug that was first widely used to treat glaucoma, which is an eye condition, but by accident I found that those patients had really long and luscious lashes, and so that was kind of a coincidental side effect that was then used for that. So then it was licensed for use in that, and you can have some generic equivalents. Now, Latisse isn't actually available in the UK. There are some generics that can be found, but that's the main I'd say product or subgroup of products in that group. You may also have over-the-counter eyelash serums that just contain a prostaglandin analog, but to be honest, those are less common. They fall into the third group, which I'll go through in a second. Now, so the first group are definitely the only thing they really do is mainly lengthen the lashes. The second group are just eyelash conditioning serums. So they contain things like maybe biotin, maybe maybe the oils, maybe peptides, that sort of thing, hyaluronic acid, but they don't actually contain any prostaglandin analogues. So that group is really to condition the lashes. So they are going to make your lashes look healthier, they're going to make them look thicker, fuller, maybe just a bit better, just like putting a hair mask on your hair, but they won't necessarily, they won't do anything for the anagen phase. So I would say they're not going to make your eyelashes grow longer, or not significantly so, but they'll make them healthier. This group is probably the most common type, most widely available. You can find them in any beauty store, online, drugstores, all of that sort of thing. So nothing bad about them, it's just what you need. The third group is, I would say, eyelash growth and nourishing lash serums. So in this group, they do a bit of both. And in this group, you've really got two main competitors, so Obagi and Nu-Cil, and you've got Eyelash Advanced Pro. And these contain all of the kind of conditioning ingredients that we mentioned before, but they also contain a prostaglandin analog. This analog will do something similar to the first group, which is kind of prolong the anagen phase and allow the lashes to grow. But typically, these serums are not, it depends on which country you're in, then they may be over the counter or they may be prescription only. Obagi Nu-Cil is available over the counter in the UK from specialist providers, including us. But that's what these kind of serums do. They'll do a little bit of both. So you're probably wondering, well, which one's best for me? Again, with anything in aesthetics and beauty and skincare, it really depends on your needs. So I would say, firstly, figure out why you want an eyelash serum. Are you already happy with your eyelashes and you're happy with the length, but you want them to look healthier, fuller, better? If you're in that group, then I would say go with just probably the eyelash conditioning serums. Those are going to help the eyelashes look better, but they're not necessarily going to affect growth or anything like that. If you are someone who wants length but to also condition their lashes, and if you're in the UK and you don't want to go through a prescription product, then I would say the final group, which is the Obagi Nu-Cil, and if you're not in the UK, Eyelash Advanced Pro, because I don't think that's available in the UK yet. But those are a happy medium, and they're going to allow you to grow your lashes, but also improve the health and hydration. If you are someone with let's say, alopecia, if your lashes are, due to you have a medical condition that's affecting eyelash growth, you've tried a lot of things that haven't worked in the past, or you have specific kind of, if it's problems like that, you might want to consider the prescription eyelash growth serums alone. Those serums like Latisse are available where they're available, it's by prescription only. And so it's worth kind of bearing that in mind. It's also possible to start with one type, move to another. You can start with, if you've started with Latisse and you are happy, but you're looking to step down, you don't want to be on a prescription medicine forever, then you might consider switching to the group, to a serum that is over the counter but promotes growth. And so really it does depend on your needs, it depends on where you are in the world, and it depends on what's available, but just make these considerations. And when you're considering what's best for you, there are a few things to bear in mind. One, eyelash serums, no matter which type you choose, whether it's prescription, non-prescription, whatever, nothing works immediately. So you're going to need to use it at least for 6 to 8 weeks normally to start seeing results. And with most of them, the results peak at the 12-week mark. And you have to keep using them if you want to maintain your results. So if you are using, whether it's Latisse, Nu-Cil, or Eyelash Pro, or any of, something like that that's specifically for growth, you're going to have to keep using it if you want to maintain your lashes. Nothing bad happens. If you stop the lashes once they cycle through their shedding phase, when the new ones grow, they'll just grow in the same way as the old ones grew. So that's something to bear in mind. It's not that there's something harmful, but it's a bit like Botox. Once it goes, you're left with what you have. Not worse, not better, it's just that way. And the other thing to bear in mind is whichever lash serums you use, There are certain kind of things to be aware of. One is common things like risk of allergy irritation, so always do a patch test, always read the manufacturer's instructions. If it's a prescription product, follow very closely what your doctor has advised you to do. If you are someone with eye conditions, eye problems, any skin conditions, it's best to see a medical provider before you start using anything like that, just so that you don't irritate your skin or cause any problems. And lastly, one of the things, and I'll discuss this in another video, is serums that contain prostaglandin analogs. There are some uncommon risks. One of the ones that you should be most aware of is in a small number of people who have colored eyes, so light blue, blue, green, kind of light brown eyes, the iris can change, and it can cause darkening, and they can end up with kind of brown or dark brown eyes, and so that's something that's actually permanent even if you stop the serum, and so you really should be aware of this and discuss it with your provider. The products, over-the-counter products like Obagi Nu-Cil, it's not known to cause this in the clinical trials, but I will caution it is a newer product, and only time will tell. Anyway, like I said, I'll do another video where I discuss all of these risks and benefits and how to use these lash serums properly if you'd like. In the meantime, if you have any questions about eyelash serums or your eyelashes in general, please leave a comment below. I'd also, if you've used these products, I'd love to know what you think, so just leave a comment below and let us know. I have also put some links to a few articles that I've written on lash growth and lash serums, just in case you want to dig a little bit deeper into this subject. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. Until next time, stay beautiful.